here today to talk about something that is completely different than every other video on my channel, and that is
vet school.
If you watched my Everything I Made in 2021 video, and I guess if you watch until the end, then you may know that I have been accepted to vet school for this August, so starting August 2022. Vet school has been a goal of mine for way too long. I remember in first grade hearing about a veterinarian and I was like,
I could do that.
I finally got accepted to one and I'm very excited to start, but also I have so many doubts and worries and fears, and I just kind of wanted to make this as like a screaming into the void kind of video. So a little bit of background. I am from Canada, and in Canada there are 5 vet schools, but they all have very strict residency requirements. So for example, I live in Ontario and there is only one vet school in Ontario, and you can only apply to that one 4 times. All of the other schools kind of have a similar type. Oh, are you talking about vet school? Okay. Anyway, all of the other vet schools all have a similar type of residency requirement. So if you want to go to school in Prince Edward Island, you have to live in one of the Atlantic provinces, basically. So they all have those residency requirements, and so applying to an out-of-province school for me is basically impossible unless I want to move there for a year on the off chance that I get accepted. So that wasn't really an option. The Ontario school I had applied for and interviewed for, and unfortunately I wasn't successful. So my other options were international schools. So I did apply to a bunch of international schools this year, and I have been accepted to one in Grenada. Okay, you can't do that here, it's gross. As of right now, I've also been accepted to another school in Australia, but it is way too expensive. And while we're on that subject, let's talk about expenses for international students. The cost of vet school as an international student for me is going to be about 5 times higher than it would be if I were accepted domestically, which I just think is
a whole load of BS.
So horrifying. That's a horrifying thing. I also just recently turned 30, and going back to school at 30 is something that is really stressing me out. And you know, it's hard to not feel like you're making a huge mistake or that your life is going to be over by the time you're graduated. It's scary. But I think at the end of the day, I've had people giving me advice. They kind of said all the same things I've been thinking. It's going to be so expensive, you're going to be in debt for a lot of years after, you're going to be old. Not in so many words, but at the end of the day, even despite hearing all of those things, if it's still something that I want to do regardless, then I think it's the right path. So I'm really excited to be making this change, but also like horrified. So anyway, with all of that information thrown at you, I just wanted to kind of talk about this channel and what my plans are coming up for not only up to vet school, but also throughout vet school. So we would be leaving early August, and I have a lot of
stuff
to make and prepare for that. So I think this channel is going to start transitioning from being like, look, I made this thing, here's how you can make it too, and also me like making stupid faces and jokes and stuff. Those won't go away, by the way. My stupid face is here for life. But so my plan is that I'm going to kind of transition into, yeah, I'm still gonna make stuff. I have like a pair of scrubs I want to make, I have some clothes I want to make because the climate is pretty much summer all the time. So I'm going to make a lot of like light linen clothes and shorts and etc, etc. I might try and make a bathing suit as well before I go, and probably more like, you know, vloggy stuff, like this is what I'm gonna pack. If that interests you, then that's great, and if not, then I have enjoyed our time together. And also, once I start vet school, I plan to kind of talk about that as well, kind of like vet school stuff, but also what it's like for me as a Canadian going to vet school in another country, and kind of also just exploring the country. I have traveled very little in my life, so I'm really excited to just live in a different country for a couple years. I think it's going to be awesome. And scary. I mean, the whole concept of vet school being hard here is like doubled or tripled, I think, when you can only take everything in one suitcase. Like, I've gotten really used to having my laptop and a second monitor, and that's a luxury I'm not going to be able to have there. So, you know, it's little things like that that are going to make vet school a little bit more challenging there than I would think it would be here. Not to say that it's not hard everywhere, but you know what I mean? Yeah, that's basically the plan for this channel, and if you're interested in kind of like preparing for vet school at age 30, packing up your entire life, and 2 cats, by the way, and like making some more clothes, summer clothes, a small amount that can be mixed and matched, probably kind of similar to another capsule wardrobe, and you know, what vet school is like, did I already say those ones? In another country? Maybe it was just preparing. But anyway, and kind of like exploring and adventuring and stuff. Those are the plans, and I'm actually really excited. I really hope that other people will find it interesting and follow along, and yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. It was kind of a mess. I didn't plan this out as well as I should have, so classic, am I right? But anyway, I hope you'll follow along with all of the whatever that I'm going to be doing and prepping and everything for this move and this huge change in our lifestyle. So that is everything, and I will see you next time. Bye! Oh no, I think I left the straightener on.